Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. How's everyone doing this evening? Come on in, come on in. Let's just say, come on in, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Howdy, downtown 66. Hope you're doing well this evening. Brenda Baker's in the house. MT Homestead, I bet that's Terry right there. Come on, Tundra Jason, the most patriotic viewer on YouTube. How you doing, Tundra Jason? Connie, all hands made. How you doing this evening? Come on in, everybody. I see somebody backstage. I see Terry and Mike backstage. I see you live and well there. So we will be bringing them on shortly. Guys, looky here. MT Homestead, sporting it. And then, of course, I got Porter Valley Ranch. Guys, these are some of the best hats in the business. Man, everyone's just raving on these hats. I love them. RV Doc, how you doing? Cat Fur for Kitten Britches in here. Gray Mountain Farm, the Rusty Pepper, Pafford Homestead. Goodness gracious, everybody's coming in. Evelyn Newman, how you doing? 30 people in here. We Are Garden Gals. Linda Lipsky, how you doing this evening? Wet my whistle with some Come On Homesteading. Hope everyone's doing well. Aren't y'all missing Come On Homesteading? Guys, I am missing me some Come On Homestead. I just talked to him last night. That boy is bowed up with work, and his brother-in-law is selling the house, and they got to get out of there, and they got to get a new place, and lots going on. And they're excited about selling that house too. So moving on, getting a more permanent place for them. So Come On Homestead, and we'll be back. I promise. Come On Homestead. David, miss you, buddy. And can't wait to see some fired up Fridays now. That's what I'm looking forward to. LG Homestead's in the house. How you doing? Garden State Gardener's here. Donna J. Griggs. How are you doing, Donna? Good to have you here. There's Dawn from Hat Creek Homestead. I'm assuming that's Dawn. Oh, boy, do we have some fun tonight, guys. Aaron, how you doing, Aaron? Aaron was saying, ooh, you got a controversial topic or title. Guys, I hope it's not a controversial. I told her more intriguing. This should be an intriguing title, this video. We should look forward to having fun. It looks like I see Porter Valley Ranch attempting to come on backstage. It says devices not connected, so they're working on it. Terry Lapine, how are you doing? Eric, Greenhorn 1 Acres here, and the Green Acre Michael is here. Congratulations on your success recently, Michael. Great to have you. Julie Ivers, how you doing? Come on in. Of course, Lila Newton, I just can't have a live without Lila Newton now. Now, guys, Auntie Ann is not here on Thursday. She is in a Bible study, so we love you, Auntie Ann. Enjoy your time away from YouTube. You deserve it. There's Sandy, Suburban Homesteader, WYAZ. How you doing, Sandy? Come on in. Bobblehead Homestead, Jeff. Woo! We can start now. We can start. We've got Jeff from Bobblehead Homestead. Guys, Jeff just did a live stream. He hadn't done a live stream in a while. He got himself a new phone, a new microphone. Guys, go over and check the Bobblehead Homestead. Bobblehead Homestead, Jeff is awesome. And his lives, man, with the chickens in the background. Need to do more lives, Jeff. Need to do more lives. Projects with Paul. How are you doing? Guys, we got 63 people in here. And Mama V's in here. Gwen Zink's in here. Lou Hansen here. Man, everyone's coming on. Just come on in. I see Porter Valley Ranch in the background there. Give me a wave, Josh. Give me a wave. There you go. Mike and Terry, give me a wave if you can hear me. Woo, looky there. All right. Got something popping up on my screen here. So I'll be bringing them on shortly. Do a little housekeeping. Let's see. Life Reclaim. Melon Bear is in the house. Good in here. Ricky is here. Man, I'm so glad I'm seeing people that went to both meetups. I was just crossing hands that I would see people that meetups. I've got Terry and I've got Porter Valley Ranch here to both meetups, and that's why we're this. Two perspectives on two awesome events. One community, guys. I mean, there are friends just like there are families. We invite families over for barbecues and get-togethers, and sometimes we have family get-togethers. We are family. We have family. We have close family, but we're all family. We're a community. Let's make sure we can stay a cohesive community. Yes, there are going to be sects and groups and stuff, but we don't need to isolate ourselves because of these things. I mean, if I like hanging with Mike and Terry, guys, I'm going to hang with Mike and Terry. If I want to hang with Porter Valley Ranch, I'm going to hang with Josh. Ain't nobody going to keep me from having a good time and loving on friends and family. And that's what you guys are. And I hope all of you can be that way tonight, okay? Love on friends and family, no drama tonight. This is about the fun of the community. I was talking to Josh, Porter Valley Ranch, about this very topic, and he's really the reason we're doing this live tonight. He said, Tim, this was an amazing thing. We need to talk about it. And I thought, Mike and Terry, I need to get them involved in this. This is Mike and Terry is a perfect channel for this because they are thriving in this community. Okay, not with this group or that group, this community. So that's exactly why I had to include Mike and Terry, guys. Lazy C Homestead, Kristen, how are you doing here? Corey and Cynthia Davis, love you guys. Let's see here, who else we got coming on in? 83 people, man. We're hitting close to 100. I know, I guarantee we're going to hit 100 tonight. That's something that's definitely going to happen. Let's see here. Before we get too far into it, I do want to thank all the new and existing members of RidgeLife. We did a RidgeLife members mobile live stream recently. I tricked YouTube and allowed me to do a members only mobile live stream, and it was fun. You guys, the members, got to see some crazy things that other people aren't going to get to see for weeks or maybe never. I did some crazy stuff in there. But members, you guys have access to go back and watch those members only videos. And Catherine, thank you. You're a new member. I appreciate you so much. Catherine used to be Catherine's Cabin. Now she's Catherine. And Joy Blessed Life, thank you very, very much. Carmichael Farm, thank you for becoming a member. Phil Emmerling, thank you very much. Appreciate all the new members and all the existing members. And guys, it's not required. Membership is not required. You guys, the non-members, get everything. Just sometimes when I've got, my granddaughter over or some little small family get-togethers, I'll do some simple videos or we'll do a live like that. I want to make sure that I'm giving some added benefit to those members. I appreciate the support for terribly. Simple Life Claim says, you're going to have to give me that proper pew stance you promised Tundra Jason. Tundra Jason knows the pew stance. Let's see. So Sandy says, go RidgeLife members. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Fallen Arkansas veterans in the house. Thank you very, very much. Thorhaven Farms in here. Lori Carp, good evening. Come on with Lori Carp. 92 guys. We're almost at 100. Almost at 100. I know it's going to happen. And guys, did you see the Green Acres? You saw their Grub Terra video. You saw their follow-up video about talking to the owner of Grub Terra, getting to be on their main website. That's pretty awesome. And then he had the tornado warning, and he was in there, and he had the bird on the ground and the rain and everything. Go check out the Green Acre. Not to be confused with Greenhorn 1 Acre. We love Eric. But this is the Green Acre. Michael from the Green Acre, his family, you're going to love the Green Acre. Do I play guitar, Tim? I'm left-handed. That's a left-handed guitar, and I have learned how to play Jingle Bells about 100 times now. So not really, but I do plan on it. It's on my bucket list to be able to play my wife our wedding song on the guitar for an anniversary. We may be 100. We may be 100, but I plan on doing that. 100 people in the house. Thank you all very much. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Announcement time. We'll be bringing on the guests very, very soon. Announcement time. I have a video challenge coming out. Lila Newton, here it is. Here it is, guys. Here's the video challenge. And I want Mike and Terry to participate. I want Josh and Porter Valley. I want everyone to participate. Even if you're not a creator, I want you to participate in this video contest, okay? All of you. Because all of you that are in here have a YouTube account, and you can all do this. Okay. You may think, Tim, I don't want to be a video creator. All right. It's your opportunity to win Amazon gift card. I don't care what country you're from. This is not limited to country like I usually do. This contest is a video contest. You need to upload a YouTube short that's 60 seconds or less in the vertical format, like this. You know, we always used to record like this, and we were supposed to done like this for YouTube. Well, now they want you to do it like this now. Yeah, come on. So 60 seconds or less upload, and you can do a YouTube short straight from your phone now. You ain't got to go to editor and studio and all that stuff. You can just open up YouTube, hit the thing, and upload a short. So that's how you guys can do this, 60 seconds or less. And there are some rules. Now, guys, don't get offended, okay? If you're easily offended, cover your ears. It's just a play on words, okay? Guys, this is RidgeLife's Big Wood Contest. Yes, that's what I said. RidgeLife's Big Wood Contest. Okay, it's a YouTube short. It's what it is. It's vertical format, 60 seconds or less. You need to have hashtag shorts in the description somewhere, hashtag shorts, and the rules will be in a video I'm putting out tomorrow. You'll see these. In the title, you need to have RidgeLife's hashtag Big Wood Contest, one word, hashtag Big Wood Contest in the title. RidgeLife's, apostrophe S, hashtag Big Wood Contest in the title somewhere. And then you need to email me or Facebook message me your link to your video you uploaded, so I know you made it, because I hopefully have my notification bell, but some of you guys aren't creators. I don't have my notification bell turned on if you're not a creator. So email me or Facebook message me. I'm RidgeLife, and my Facebook account is on my YouTube channel, in the little corner of the banner, so you can, however you want to do it. My email address is on all my videos and my About tab. It's everywhere, but it's RidgeLifeMRF, Making Rich Farms, MRF, at gmail.com. So what I want you to do for the Big Wood Contest, all right? 109 people in here. I want all of you to do this. Go out in your property. It has to be your property. It can't be the park. It can't be Sequoia National Forest or Redwood Forest. It has to be your tree, okay? It has to be your trunk. I want you to go out on your property, and I want you to find the biggest tree you got, or a tree, okay? If you're Jared Crocker, you can go out there and get that little mimosa twig. He keeps calling a mimosa, and you can measure the circumference of that mimosa, and you're in the contest, Jared. Make a video. It's going to be funny. Okay. So go out and find a big tree, take a rope, run it around the tree, or a tape measure if it's a little bitty tree. Run it around the tree, mark it. Now, I need you to video this. Video yourself measuring the tree. You wrap the rope around it nice and even. And then you pull the rope back and you get a tape measure. You just measure the rope, how long that was, and that's your circumference. And I'll divide it by pi and get the diameter. Don't worry about that. You just tell me the circumference. And guys, when you measure your tree, measure above where the roots start to split and make the trunk too wide, and measure below if the tree wise. That's not fair. You need to be in the base trunk of the tree. That's not what Jared will do. You know, Lila, you're funny. So measure your tree, take a video of it, make some fun with this, 60 seconds or less. You know, you see the rules. I'll publish them tomorrow. I need the link by a deadline, which will be announced. And all videos need to be free of profanity, vulgarity, family friendly, guys. I know the title sounds kind of risque and stuff. Guys, it's all in fun, family friendly, no profanity, no vulgarity. You will not be included. And a matter of fact, if I see anybody with the RidgeLife's hashtag Big Wood Contest with that type of material, I'm not going to like it, okay? So please, no vulgarity, no profanity, family friendly. That's my rule. That's my video, okay? The winner, you're like, Tim, what are you going to win? The winner is going to win an Amazon gift card in the amount of $1 for every inch of diameter. Not circumference, 256 inches. No. Diameter. And it's just circumference is diameter is circumference divided by pi. And I'll take care of that. You just send me the circumference. So if you have a 148-inch circumference tree, divide that by pi, you got $50 there, something like that. Okay. It's up to $80. $80 is probably going to be a pretty darn big tree there. Okay. The second way to win an Amazon gift card is I'm going to put all the entrants, everybody that makes a video, every single body that makes a video, I'm going to put you on the wheel of names, and you've got an equal chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. $50. 120 people in here. You have a chance to win $80 or $50. That's right, Amazon. So anywhere in the world, 18 years or older to win, please, to play. If you're not 18 years old, you need to do this with your parents, okay? Just the way things are. And so we'll do this live. We'll have I'll show the video. I'm going to play the videos. I'm going to make a playlist of all your videos on my channel, and we'll play them on a StreamYard live, and we'll do a giveaway, and we'll see who wins the diameter, and then we'll do the wheel of names. It's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Enough of that. Hope you guys participate. I'll have a video coming out tomorrow with all the details. You don't have to write any of that down. You have to remember any of it. All right, 8:15. It's time to bring people on. Homestead Northern Michigan says $5. I'm in. He's up in Michigan. He got some good sized trees up there. What if you live in an apartment? Okay, if you live in an apartment, the place you're living, if it has trees in a courtyard, that's your property, okay? You don't have to own the property. You can be renting. If you're renting, if there's a tree, and guys, you can be entered by the video. So if you've got a plant, I got a plant right there. If you got a plant in your house, measure the diameter of one of the stems, you're in the video. You're in the contest, okay? So no limitation there. You may not win the diameter contest, but you can win the big wheel of names, right? All right. Bobblehead says, now I have to figure out how to do a shorts video. Bobblehead, Google it. But if you look at your YouTube studio now on your phone, it says upload short. Upload. You're done. That's it. They made it so simple recently. That was a recent change. All right. You can do this. You can do this. Tina Ladybug, you can do this. All right. So we are going to bring in our guests. We're going to bring in our guests. And then after our guests leave, we'll do a little more talk. I got a couple more fun things to talk about tonight. We're going to do 2 giveaways tonight. So stick around. 2 giveaways. Stick around. So I'm going to bring on Mike and Terry and Porter Valley Ranch at the same time. So please, everyone give a warm welcome to Mike and Terry at Porter Valley Ranch. Josh.
Hi, guys.
What's up, guys? Get my earpiece in here so I can hear you. Oh, look at the Porter Valley Ranch hat. Look at him.
Like I wore the wrong hat.
You did wear the wrong hat. What's that hat say there? Come on, get a little closer. I can't see it.
Red
dirt. All right. I like it. Well, Josh, I love this hat. This is an awesome hat. This really is. The quality, and the water, the hat that Mike's wearing is awesome. My son Morgan loves his hat. So thanks, Josh, for the hats.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's say everybody just say hi so we can see if we hear everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Terry, you got to speak up just a little bit, okay?
All right. I'll try.
I know. Mike, you got to speak down, and Terry, speak up. No,
yes, sir.
No, you're fine, Mike. I'm just playing. I do hear some music in the background. Does somebody have music?
Got nothing.
That is very odd. I hear music. Does anybody else hear music? It just went away. Nope, just came back.
They call that PTSD.
Dude, I'm serious. I'm hearing music. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's copyrighted, so I'll be all right. Where is that coming from? That's crazy. All right, guys, we have Porter Valley Ranch and Mike and Terry MT Homestead on here, and we are here to talk about meetups. Specifically, the ones we did in Pryor, Oklahoma, and the one most recently in Sulphur, Oklahoma. So this is an Oklahoma meetup year. This was an amazing time to be a YouTuber or a fan of YouTube in the Oklahoma area. And I really hear that music getting louder. Does anybody else hear that?
I hear nothing.
All right, let me close all my windows down that aren't stream. Okay, I had a video playing in the background. I know exactly what it was. That was a trail camera video I was working on.
All right.
It got done. I heard it. I wasn't making this up. I promise. Must be aliens. Vision Acres Homestead. I hear aliens. Okay. No music here, says David. All right, we figured it out. It was me. Okay. So before we get into the meetups, guys, we have 119 people in here wanting to know a little bit about who we brought on, because I've got a lot of RidgeLife people that may not know who Mike and Terry are. Maybe a couple. I got a few RidgeLife people that may not know who Josh from Porter Valley Ranch is. So I really want to start off with Mike and Terry. Mike and Terry, tell us a little bit about your channel, about how long you've been on
No, you
YouTube,
do it. Okay.
and a little bit about
You're
yourselves too.
louder.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we started YouTube back in February. On February 3rd, we posted our first video. We've been watching YouTube while we were in Korea for 5 years, and then we moved to Oklahoma last August, and we kept going back and forth. You want to start one? Do you want to start one? We're still watching everything and things like that, and we have our favorites that we enjoyed for the last 5 years. And finally, I just said, well, I picked up my phone, I went outside in front of our house, and I did an intro video, and then we posted it, and it just started taking off from there. So that's us. She's from Missouri. I'm from Arizona. We met at Fort Leonard Wood. I was stationed there, and we've been married now for almost 12 years come August.
Terry, I'm a Missouri boy. I'm born and raised in Missouri, so show me.
Hey.
Thank you guys very much. Josh, tell us a little bit about Porter Valley Ranch, the channel, and Josh, Porter Valley Ranch, the dude.
Yeah, so my wife Rachel and I, we have lived on our property for about 6 years. We have 16 acres in Sulphur, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Tulsa. And about a year ago, when all of the, well, I guess it's over a year ago, when all the pandemic stuff started happening, our business was shut down. We own a dance studio and a gymnastics gym, an event center. So everything we did involved people, and people weren't allowed to come to our business. So we kind of found our sanity and our solitude in being outdoors. We've always loved our property. We've always four-wheeled, fished, and things like that. But I started building fences. Rachel started gardening. We started bringing on more animals, different types of animals to our property. And I would walk in and have a question about something, and my know-it-all 11-year-old at the time would answer my question. And I'd be like, well, how do you know? And he would answer, because I saw it on YouTube. So he was watching channels like Arms Family, Hidden Heights Farm, people that raise goats, because we have Nubian ibex. And he would know the answers to my questions better than I did. And I'm supposed to be the expert. So I started also watching those YouTube channels to learn what I was doing wrong. And through that journey, Rachel and I decided, you know what, we think we've got an interesting story to tell. We've always been communicators. We've always been entertainers and teachers. So we just decided to start filming and putting our story on YouTube. It was actually about this time of year last year. Rachel and I went to Branson, and we just kind of decided, let's do this. So we started filming videos. We didn't know what we were doing. We were getting like 10 views per video. It was very discouraging. And that's kind of the beginning of our journey. And then I won't get too far down the road, but Meetups, I guess, saved our channel.
Okay, we'll get to that. So, Josh, how many acres do you have currently?
We have 16.
And what type of livestock do you have? What different breeds?
So we raise Nubian ibex, which are mountain goats. We raise exotic sheep, baby dolls, and Harlequin sheep. And then my son Zeke has a chicken operation. He raises silkies and showgirl chickens. We've had other things over the years. We've had horses and pigs and things like that, but we've kind of narrowed our focus down to the ibex, the sheep, and chickens.
I have rabbits and I have 2 chickens now. The predators have killed all. So you make me sound like I'm not even a homesteader or a rancher or but I'm RidgeLife. That's why, So Mike and Terry, you kind of can relate. First off, what do you have as far as property wise, and then what are some animals and things you do on your homestead?
Well, property, we've got what, 2.76 acres. So we're not on a big property by any means. And we have chickens, lots of chickens. Now it's pared down now. I got rid of some. I gave 4 to Robertson Belly Acres. So I got rid of a few. 2 roosters are in freezer camp. So,
So chicken math, you actually have about 500, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of chickens.
My new chickens have just started laying. I've been averaging about 10 to 12 eggs a day. So yeah, a lot of eggs. And then we do have 2 turkeys as well, and love my turkeys. They're fun. So we're hoping still, I'm pretty sure one is a male, one's a female. The male is quite large compared to the female. So, yeah.
Mike does woodworking, and
No, I wouldn't say that.
hey, one of the first videos I saw of you did this, how to make people that don't know how to do woodworking woodwork, right?
Yes.
I'm carpentry impaired.
Yeah, that was.
You helped me, so
What should have lasted 1 weekend lasted 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
He built the chicken coop. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, and you are a military veteran. Thank you, sir, for your service.
Thank you also.
Okay. So, guys, this is MT Homestead and Porter Valley Ranch. Part of it. We're missing Rachel and the kids. Now we're going to get into meetups. So I want to start off with Josh, if you don't mind. What drew you to these meetups?
Paragon Ridge Ranch. You guys know who they are. We found them. They live probably about 10 miles from us. So they're, I think, our closest YouTube neighbor. But we had connected with them through Facebook, and she told us about this meetup in Pryor. I had never heard the term meetup, and the thought of being in a room with a bunch of YouTubers scared me to death. So
we can all blame Chrissy.
Yeah.
So she said, hey, you need to go to this thing. You can meet some people. Because at that time, I don't know, we probably had less than 1,000 subscribers. We had just kind of messed around with different things. And so we thought, you know what, let's just go meet some people, see if we can make some connections, but had no idea what to expect.
Okay. And Mike and Terry, what drew you to the meetups?
Well, we saw the first meetup
Last
up in
October?
Pryor. Right. We had just moved from Korea and we're just getting set into our new home, and we're still watching YouTube. So we watched that on YouTube and said, oh, that would have been fun. I wish we'd known we would have gone. But then this one rolled around, and Chrissy from Paragon Ridge, she had, we had talked to her also. She had texted and said, hey, are you guys going to go? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, we'll go. That'll be fun. So, yeah, it's all Chrissy.
So, Mike and Terry, this question is for you. At each one, you've been to both. You were one in Pryor this year, and you were one in Sulphur. In each one, what were you most surprised by at each? It can be anything. What were you're like, wow. What were you most surprised by at each of them?
I think that at the one in Pryor, I was surprised at the pre-party and the after-party, which was really fun. And a lot of people got a lot of one-on-one quality time with each of the channels and stuff like that. We were new. Nobody knew us. We've been on the Watch and Grows and stuff like that. But we actually got to meet a whole lot of people. Otherwise, we would have never met them. And it was surprising to me just on that meetup, the networking that happened afterwards for that one. Communitizing. After you guys coined that word.
Roost and rescue, that's their term. That's their term.
Or communize, as Lazy Pond.
No!
Yeah, no.
But communize.
The one in Pryor that we went to, I don't think can really be compared because it was their second meetup. If you compared the first meetup, would be an even keel with the one in Southern Oklahoma. Because it was the first meetup for that one also, and the numbers and the channels. So if I went back and I watched that first meetup, and there was 46 channels there, okay, 46 channels at that first meetup, and there was 31 at this meetup, okay. But what really surprised me is that I was surprised about is the sheer number of children that was at the Sulphur meetup and all the events and stuff to keep the kids busy.
Yep.
It was really nice.
That was surprising. But they had that in there, and Brandon had it in his game plan.
That was awesome. Now, Josh, same questions to you. What surprised you most about the two?
So the thing that surprised me first, I said earlier that the meetup saved our YouTube channel. we went to that first meetup and had no idea what to expect. And honestly, we were pretty frustrated with YouTube. As a small business owner, everyone in your area that does the same thing as you is a competitor. So we've always ran our business not as an enemy, but as a competitor of people that are in our niche or in our, competing businesses. So we kind of expected it to be the same. But when we walked in from the get-go, people were interested in helping, interested in connecting. And I didn't understand that concept that if you help me grow, I help you grow, and we both grow together. And so that was very different from small business life for us.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at the Sulphur, what was surprising there?
The thing that surprised me most about the Sulphur meetup was the number of subscribers represented.
Yeah.
Rachel and I were sitting at a table eating lunch with Keeping It Dutch, Hidden Heights. I looked to my left and there was Arms Family and Adler Farms. And I started thinking in my head, and I'm thinking there's well over 1 million subscribers between these two tables of people.
Wow.
And it was pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. So you kind of alluded to these questions here. And before we go any further, I want to say to all the people in the chat, there's 143 people in here. We're not ignoring you. Guys, we have awesome moderators. Ask questions. Talk amongst yourselves. If you have a question that really, moderators can help us call it out or something. But I do have a list of questions. I want to make sure we use our time wisely with our guests. And we'll talk a little bit afterwards. So if we're not ignoring the chat, and we love all 150 members channel members that are in here, or chat members, because you're why we're here. All 3 of these channels are only here because of you. And the meetups were only done because of you. It wasn't because of a channel. It was because of the viewers of the channel. So thank you all so much. Have patience with us, and hopefully you're enjoying some of these conversations, because you're going to get to hear some things that a lot of people didn't get to know, didn't get to do, because these 2 channels went to both meetups. I went to the first 2 in Pryor. I did not get a chance to go to Sulphur, and next year I will be. I will be. So again, thanks to all the people in the chat. So you guys kind of alluded to some of these this question here, and I phrased this question intentionally this way. Who or what impressed you the most at each? Who or what impressed you the most? Start with Josh.
So we're sitting at lunch and a little intimidated. I've talked to a lot of these channels on and off, sent them messages, but hadn't really gotten to know many of them very well. And we're sitting at lunch and small talking with some of the wives, and all of a sudden, Keeping It Dutch, we'll call him Dutch, he looks at Rachel and I, and he says, "So what are your goals on YouTube?" Right out, that first thing I've ever heard out of his mouth is that's what he said. And it kind of struck me, and I'm a talker, if you guys have ever watched my channel. So I stammered around for a little while, and then Rachel kind of, narrowed it down and said, "Our goal is to spread our message and pay for our operation." And so from that, we had a really good conversation. He gave us a lot of advice. He was very helpful. But that kind of, it surprised me. It kind of shocked me that he wasn't messing around. He straight up went there and said, "What do you want? Why are you here? What can we do to help you? What questions can we answer for you?" And it wasn't about him. It was about us.
Mm-hmm. Now, one little bit of information about Josh that some of y'all might not know: you don't monetize all your videos, do you?
We actually just turned on monetization on Saturday, because we had a conversation with Brandon from Rustic Woodwork. Rustic Woodwork and Family, if you guys don't follow them, they are unbelievable people, very humble, very kind. I was talking to him, and he asked the question. He goes, "Man, why hasn't your channel taken off?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, we try different things. We've tried some things that worked, some things that didn't work. And he mentioned our thumbnails. He goes, "Man, your thumbnails are unbelievable," which I'm a graphic designer. That was my background, was graphic design. And I said, "I don't know." I said, our click-through rate's pretty good, this and that. But I said, "We're just not getting the impressions that I feel like we should." And I told him, I said, "We haven't, turned on monetization." And he said, bingo. He said, that's the problem. He said, YouTube is not pushing you because you haven't turned on monetization. But I had watched YouTube going back a couple of years, and there was kind of a badge of honor for not turning on monetization, because that meant you were, I guess, looking out for the viewers, the subscribers, as opposed to trying to get something for yourself. So I was kind of going that road with it. But he said that's the problem. And since I turned that on, our views have gone insane.
Yep.
Like crazy.
Mike and Terry, same question, answered however you like. Who or what impressed you the most at each?
I will say what impressed me about the Pryor
and
meetup.
Don't just say RidgeLife. Don't just say RidgeLife. Yeah. I stole it from you.
What impressed me was, Jason has a certain character about him. And people either love him, don't like him, or whatever. But Jason is Jason. But when I seen Jason at the meetup, and he had dozens of children around him, just looking at him like he was a superhero. And he absolutely spent all the time in the world with those kids.
Yep. Anytime any one of them would ask him a question, he would stay there with
He
them.
was right there with those kids. They followed him like a puppy, and he gave them all of his attention. And that impressed me about him, something that I wasn't ready for. And the other thing about that was his brother, Jared. Jared portrays himself as this I don't give a crap guy and stuff like that. But down to earth, meeting him there, and again at 41.36, he is a down to earth. He is an awesome man. And that surprised me because their characters on YouTube and in real life, they don't go side by side.
We just run the reputation.
I know, and I'm glad you did that.
Now, what about Sulphur? What
For Sulphur, when you get to meet somebody that is creeping up on 750,000 viewers, Daniel Arms, he walked in and I seen this. I go, he was just a big, tall a beanpole. And I go, wow. And I walked up to him and I wasn't nervous to meet him, but he's something that you try to attain to in your profession, in your YouTube world. And he's going, hey, what's going on? We met him at the Noodle Festival. Same way. He is such a real person. He doesn't hide nothing. I said, well, you got a few minutes? He goes, take as much time as you want. So when we were doing our almost 2 hour live there, he sat there for 16, 17 minutes and just answered questions and told exactly, what I asked him. And we talked about a few personal things. And if you want to go see that video, go ahead. It's on our channel. But it surprised me how down to earth he was. Yeah. And then meeting the other bigger channels, Dutch and all them, they were just so personable and they were willing just to talk to you. If you had questions, they answered those questions. And like Josh said, you had over 1 million viewers with about maybe 3 channels there. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. At that meetup. And that really impressed me that he would spend the time with each channel and he stayed there. His wife and kids, they had to go do something and he stayed there and he visited with everybody. Okay. So that really impressed me.
Time to give away some RidgeLife merch. Got to give away a RidgeLife merch. Guys, we're going to give away a RidgeLife t-shirt.
Oh, I thought he was going to give away a hat.
Going to give away a RidgeLife t-shirt first. Mike says, I need a hat. No, going to give away a RidgeLife t-shirt. Now, the rules for this is you had to have commented in the chat in the last 5 or 10 minutes. You got to be 18 years or older. You do have to be in the continental United States to win this. I'm going to send it from Bonfire straight to you. And you need to have a way for me to contact you from your YouTube account. That's the rules. Nightbot's going to pick it. So you guys need to comment. There's 164 people in here. Hopefully 164 people have commented in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And I'm going to make Nightbot right now pick a winner, okay? This is how it goes. Anybody can win. Winner, chicken dinner. This is how it goes. Here we go. Moderators, you need to help me see who wins this. Like, I didn't comment, Mike and Terry. Give me your phone. And, let's see. Somebody tell me if Nightbot picks a winner. There's a lot of people in here. Might miss it. Let's see here. Let's see. Come on, Nightbot. Pick a winner. Is Mama V the winner? Mama V. Everyone's saying Mama V. So Mama,
we met Mama V.
Awesome.
She was at Sulphur.
Mama V, congratulations, Mama V. I'll be contacting you, Mama V. If you're not a creator and you don't have your YouTube address on your somewhere on your YouTube account, you don't know how to do that, you can email me or message me, and I know people that know you, so I can verify. Okay, congratulations, Mama V. Now let's get back to the questions. I had to give a little merch away there, and lots of good questions, guys. I see a lot of questions coming through, and I appreciate them all. And hopefully the moderators are helping answer some of them. When we get done, I'll try to come back and answer some as well. So again, thank you all the people in here, 159 people. All right. I know the answer to some of these questions. I'm going to start with Josh on this one first. Since the 2 meetups, you can combine them. Have you experienced any channel growth by going to these meetups?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Give us some numbers. What do you think?
Well, we've picked up over 2,500 subscribers in the last week.
Wow.
Yeah. We put out a song some of you guys have probably seen.
That song.
And you know that. So the funniest thing about that song is in the comments. I don't know. There's almost 1,000 comments on it now. Everybody says we love those channels, but you forgot. And there's I have a running total of which channel is going to win the forgotten, title in that song. But the thing about that song is everybody in that song was either at one of these 2 meetups or are one of my son's favorite channels. I think out of the song, I'm off the cuff here, I think that Mr. Beast, White House on the Hill, and Granger Smith are the only channels that weren't there at one of those 2 meetups. Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. But yeah, we just the connections that we made kind of snowballed from the first meetup. From the second meetup we put out, you might have seen our video that said the worst meetup. I forgot to take my camera.
I like that. That was a good video.
We picked up probably 500 subscribers from that video alone. And then in the last week off of the song and then the meetup video, which is knocking on, I think it's 15,000 views in the last 3 days. We've picked that up. So for me, everybody says don't ride someone's coattails. But if you are on YouTube, you kind of have to ride someone's coattails. And if you go back a couple of years, everybody was riding Daniel Arms meetups coattails. And then now everybody's riding the Crocker meetup coattails. And now this newest meetup with Rustic Woodworking Family's coattails. And it's not using them because they opened the door. It's just making connections through those events and using it to your advantage and learning from the information that you get at those things. There's no telling in the next 2 weeks the growth that we're going to see coming out of all those 3 things.
Yep. One day, Mike and Terry they're going to invite us to their meetup, and we're going to oh, thank you, Mike and Terry. Thank you for letting us go. We appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome to come over anytime, Tim.
I will volunteer to help somebody with their meetup, but yeah, it's too much work for one person to do. Ooh. And we learned that down in Sulphur because Brandon, he was working his tail off to put this thing on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we showed up the night before, which I see LG Homestead over here. They were at both meetups also. And I think the first meetup they had just started. And so hopefully things are picking up for them. But yeah, LG and Fowler Family Farm showed up the night before, just kind of unannounced to see if we could help set up. And Brandon and his family were doing all the work. But kind of something that Mike and Terry said, we showed up to help set up. We ended up hanging out. We ended up going out to dinner. And because of that, those relationships are a lot stronger than you can form in a 20, 30-minute conversation during the meetup.
Right.
Yeah. And I will mention too, Brenda Baker, awesome subscriber to all of us, I believe.
Yeah.
And she was there and she worked so hard helping set up and tear down, and she was just amazing.
And she's going to start her YouTube channel very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, Brenda?
That's right, Brenda.
All right, Mike and Terry, you started a YouTube channel not too long ago. You went to a meetup in Pryor. We went to a 41.36 celebration, 4th of July Freedom Weekend. You went to Sulphur. It's been an amazing YouTube summer for you guys, spring and summer. Have you experienced any growth out of that at all? Channel growth?
None.
Yeah. Hey, when we went to the Sulphur meetup, I think we gained maybe 30, 40 subscribers.
At Sulphur?
At Pryor. But
the networking.
What everybody learned at the very first meetup they went to, they applied their lessons learned to the second meetup. When you watch the first meetup, there's no tables, merch selling. It was more of a meet and greet. Okay. And we watched everybody's lives and stuff like that in their videos. So they learned from that one and they improved dramatically from 46 subscribers, the first meetup, because we sat there and we counted it on all the videos. And then the second one, we had 165 channels there and 600 and something people showed up at that one in total. I think from that one, we learned what a lot of people learned is don't spend so much time on your channel. Spend more time on everybody else's channel so people get to know you.
Yep.
And we spent all the time on ours and not a lot of time on other people's videos and stuff like that.
Yep. But then afterwards, we all knew you. We all knew Mike and Terry. You were included in live chats. You were included in get together, and
it was
everyone knows Mike and Terry now.
Yeah, it was absolutely the networking. I mean, we'd been following Simple Life Reclaimed and Country Road Cure for a long time, and especially Simple Life Reclaimed was before they came out to meet Jason.
Yeah.
Even we've been watching them for a while, and to meet them and get to know them was amazing. And then John at Cold Beer Ranch, Mike really hit it off with him as a friend.
Yeah, as a good personal friend.
Yeah.
But when we went to the Sulphur meetup, in between there, of course, we went to the 41.36, and you guys surprised us. And when Anthony came up to us and said, "Hey, we want you to host the live from this Freedom Weekend," and I go, "What?" And we came into that at 491 subscribers, and we left out of there at just under 1,000 subscribers from that one meetup. Yep. And we have so much respect for the channels that have 4 and 5 and 6 and 800 people in there. You can't read that chat. No. You can't read the chat that moves that fast.
There's 182 in here, and I'm having a hard time keeping up even while you're talking. So
then when we go to Sulphur and we start talking to people and all that, and we posted that video, it got around, and we're like at 1,001, 1,002 since Saturday on that one video. And the meetup one at Mel and Gary's place and Anthony's, we got 4.9 thousand views on that video from that live. But this one, we probably got about 50 or so subscribers, but it's not like they just blast.
Yeah, it's been a steady climb, which is good, because to me that shows they're watching and that they're viewers that are going to stick, more so than, oh, I'm just going to pop in, hit subscribe just because I'm watching this one thing.
Yeah.
It's been a slow, steady.
It's kind of funny. We went into Sulphur and we were at 1,000.03, and now we just since Saturday we went. We're at 1,200.
Right up.
So we basically grew about 180, 170 subscribers since then.
Now, Patricia, Too Crazy in Alabama, she was our scorekeeper at the first Pryor meetup. She said 48 channels at the first meetup. She was the keeper of the pins and the flags, and she. So thank you, Patricia. And it's people like Patricia that really make them things happen. You know, like you said, Brenda Baker, and so exactly it's a lot of background work. Now, more questions for y'all. Let's start with Mike and Terry. What is the funniest thing you saw at each meetup? What was the this went? Oh my gosh, I gotta laugh at that. What was the funniest thing you saw at each meetup?
At the Pryor meetup was seeing Matt Payne and Jason get into character.
Yeah. Ron Witherspoon.
When Ron Witherspoon came over and started wanting people with his knee-high socks and his Witherspoon security system, yeah, that I was going, what in the heck? And then when Grandpa showed up, I mean, he had some ladies trying to chase him to kiss him, and I'm just like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So they played it real well there, and it was entertaining to say the least. It kind of an icebreaker for an event type thing. So that was good. The other thing at the Sulphur meetup, the things that surprised me that I thought was pretty good was what was it? Minnie B. The lady came in with a dog-sized pony.
Yes.
Kind of like Josh did with the lamb he brought. She brought this little pony that probably weighed 50 pounds, if that. And it was house trained. They took the horse outside to go to the bathroom, and he came right back in. It was housebroken.
Wow.
This is a pony. And it's just they're called micro ponies. Yeah. And she brought that, and that kind of surprised me. Going, you just treated it like it was a dog.
All right, Josh, what was the funniest thing? And don't say putting an animal in the back of Jason's truck.
No, that backfired great.
That backfired. What was the funniest?
Story for a different day. So
what was the funniest thing at the two meetups for you?
So I didn't really know Jason Crocker. And I actually walked in, and Jared Crocker was in the back, and I was like, hey, I said, do you have a channel? He kind of looked at me like I was crazy.
I remember that.
I didn't know anybody. So anyway, so getting his head shaved at the first meetup had to be, it was like, oh, this is really happening. And I didn't really understand YouTube at the time. And it put Des on the map.
Oh, Des.
It was awesome. My kids thought it was just the greatest thing ever. So that's why we gave him the Dagoos, the rats, because I said, you need a rat to go with the rat tail. I left a note, and then the note blew away, and it turned into a fiasco. But anyway, so that was the funniest thing. The funniest thing at the Sulphur meetup, you mentioned the kids. The kids are awesome. We had met the Arms family a couple weeks earlier at the Noodling Festival. And so my kids knew Houston. They met the Walker Farm fam there, so they knew their kids. So they walk in and they all just start playing soccer. Well, then I'm sitting there talking to Grojak, who was awesome. Loved meeting Grojak and his dad. But I look over, and Greg from LG Homestead has his, I think he was wearing Crocs with his jeans rolled up like Huckleberry Finn with two hats on, and he's playing goalie. And about the time I look over, he punts the soccer ball and about kills Houston Arms. It was 2 inches from his head. And I thought,
Greg's a little bit bigger.
Go to the hospital with Houston Arms due to this meetup. It was good times.
Guys, it is time to give away some more Ridge Life merch. This time it is
a hat.
A hat.
Yeah, I need a hat.
All right, needs a hat. Guys,
phone out.
181 people in here. We are going to give away a Ridge Life hat. I've got several styles to choose from. And it's the same rules as last time, guys. 18 years or older, you need to be caught in the United States. You need to comment in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And I need to be able to contact you. So, all right. Nightbot is going to pick a winner. winner chicken dinner. So what I always say. So I'm giving you a chance to comment now. 185 people can just say me. You only got to say it one time. It's all it takes. I did that one time, and I had everybody saying me. Like just couldn't see anything in the chat.
That's
but
the way
yes,
ours went when we did our giveaway. Yeah, and it was mostly our daughter that was sitting there.
All right,
we
are going to give away a hat now, a RidgeLife hat. Let me get the winner chicken dinner code in here, and let's see. Moderators, I need help. Let me know who wins. Okay, moderators, let's do this. Winner chicken dinner. Who's going to win the RidgeLife hat? Mama V won our t-shirt. Let's see who wins the RidgeLife hat. And I call them dinner hats. Like the Come On Homestead had one. And the winner is Chris's Clevercraft.
Congratulations, Chris.
Congrats, Chris's Clever. I cannot say that. Chris's Clevercraft. Thank you. Congratulations, Chris. You are a winner of the hat.
Hey, I've got to call something out real fast. I just saw Bobblehead Homestead commented, and he said, my first meetup was 3 years ago with Arms family at the Justin Rhodes meetup. So I went back and watched some of those old meetup videos. And that's one of the things I said was, I don't recognize very many people from that meetup. So it's cool that they were there at that meetup, because I'm looking at, this meetup with Justin Rhodes and Arms family, and there were just not a lot of people that I think are still on YouTube. So that's really cool to see that.
Yeah. If in what I've seen just in my short time, I'm coming up on not quite 2 years yet on YouTube, guys, if you can stick through it, get your 1,000 subscribers, get your 4,000 watch hours. That's when YouTube, like you said, Josh, YouTube starts to say, this guy is somebody we want to invest in. They start promoting your channel, getting your videos out there. And then if you can get past that 4,000, I guess kind of why they picked those numbers, because it used to be 100 subscribers, right? You get monetized at 100 subscribers. So now it's 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and YouTube starts investing in you, and you've got a community. And once you've got a community, now you can actually see growth and longevity in this awesome medium we have here in YouTube. And I just a little quick thing for me. I did not get into it to get monetized. I did not get into it me and my son were clearing some land. We bought the property, and Dad, he said, Tim, you need to put this on YouTube. Or Dad, you need to put this, you don't call me Tim. Dad, you need to put this on YouTube. This is some pretty fun stuff. Don't call me Dad, Tim, never, ever. And we started doing that. And I fell in love with it. And then I fell in love with the people. So the videos and the things I'm doing are completely secondary. It's talking to LG and Lila and Annie Ann and Roost and Rescue and David Warren and Jason Homestead in Northern Michigan and Kevin Sibley from Lazy Pond Farm and Bruce from Swarmstead. I've got people across the entire United States, across the world that I never would have met, and I've fallen in love with thanks to YouTube. So that's a little bit about me. Sorry about that, but and hopefully your guys' experience is very, very similar to that. So let's get some more questions here. All right, this is a little constructive criticism, and this is for you, Josh. Starting with each meetup, think back. What's something that you would suggest that could make each one better? Not a complaint about what was bad, because guys, it was free. It was a free event. I mean, the food was free, the drinks were free, the friendship was free. What did you see at each that you think that could just make it even better? Josh.
Pryor needs less mud.
Yes, a little less rain. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, you guys touched on it earlier. They learned so quickly from the first meetup to the second meetup. With having the tent outside, having, people outside doing things, with the forge and with the sawmill. So even if you didn't know anything about YouTube and the people you were going to see, you could go buy goods that were grown or made on these homesteads, on these channels. You could learn about, forging metal. You could learn about doing things. So honestly, I think the Crockers really did a good job of saying this was cool, but let's make it better. I think if and when they do it again, there's no telling how big it will be. For the Sulphur meetup, the thing that really surprised me, and it surprised me about Okie Noodling too, was that there weren't more channels there. Now, the channels that were there, I kind of did some math over here, and I think there was at least 140 or 1.4 million subscribers, coming out of that group of people. Cross Timbers Bison was there. They're over 100,000. There were huge channels. There weren't a lot of small channels. I think the reason there weren't as many people is because all of the other channels didn't rally around Rustic Woodworking Family and promote it. They didn't say, we'll be there, come see us. And I know they probably all have their reasons for doing that, but I think that's what made the Pryor meetup so big, was that, you had 50 plus channels, some of them big channels, some of them small channels, all saying, we're going to be there. Come join this community, come see these people, come make these connections. And that really helped promote it. So that's something that I think they need to do in the future, is they need to get some of those channels to announce that they're going earlier.
Yep. Guys, I'll be there next year. So just go, just come on. I'll be there next year. There's all the reason people need to go. So.
Yep.
God, there was no laughter there. I don't know why. There should have been laughter. Should have just been bawling laughter. That was hilarious. Okay. Mike and Terry, same question. What could have been not criticism?
Right.
What could have just made it that much better?
At the Sulphur meetup, I got time to talk to Brandon, and Brandon told me that he had a pros and cons list that he made, and his con list of things that he's learning along the way was a lot longer than his pro list.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously he's taking notes, and he's watching what didn't work or what he should have done and stuff like that. My suggestion to him was, hey, treat it like a church organization and form a committee of people that you trust that can help you out, and start as early as you can with your marketing plan. Every time we went live, once we found out about the meetup, we talked about it on our lives.
We're not that big.
So and we're not that big. LG did the same thing. Yeah. And every time we went live, people go, oh, there's a meetup? And we'd have to repeat it again and again. But that's okay. So I think the thing is start very early. He had 2 months he put this together. So I told him, I said, I pretty much 6 months out, getting the word out slowly and getting people to work with the community and have them announce it and get the word out. Jason and them, I don't know that they push people to announce it. Everybody was willing to announce it.
And you never heard it on my channel once, did you?
No.
Oh yeah, we heard it a million times. But what I'm saying is, from the first meetup that they had in Pryor, they took notes. Because you could see Matt Payne was sitting in the front row. He was just a participant there, and he was the second meetup. They recruited Matt Payne. Sawyer Ridge
only made 2
again.
videos, but
the Crockers were there again. Everybody calls it the Crocker thing, but it was really a team effort that put that thing together up there, and they applied lessons learned from the first one to the second one. And I think Brandon is key on that. But one thing I do want to say is that when I talked to Daniel at the noodling competition, and he reinforced it at the Sulphur meetup, he was approached by Brandon about the meetup, and Daniel didn't feel right that to put his name on the line, people would say this was Daniel Arms's meetup.
Right.
And it wasn't. It was Brandon putting it together. He wanted something for Southern Oklahoma, and he said, because if he put his name on there, it wouldn't be the people, it would be Arms people coming to the meetup and not the community coming. And I respect him for what he did, but he showed up because it's in his community.
Yep.
Still supported it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that just shows the character man he is.
You just segued into my next question. And again, we've kind of jumped on these topics already. Mike and Terry, now that you've been in YouTube and you're where you're at in your YouTube career, how important have you found community to be to you and your channel? Community.
That's just a stupid
Not
question.
communism. Community.
I'm sorry, but that's a stupid question. because
we wouldn't be anywhere without
look,
community.
If you have a channel and you say, I don't need anybody, well, guess what? You ain't gonna get nobody. It's, you know, but if you're part of the community and we tell people that they say, hey, you know, we're not the experts by no means, but what we did learn, I will pass that along. And what I did learn was, if you're not part of this community, you're not. If you're not visiting people's lives, making comments, saying hello, and spending a little bit of time each night or
And
whatever
getting to
you
know
have,
people. I mean,
you have to meet people.
Yeah.
And you have to know them, because, you know, it's one thing when you go to a channel and they sit there and they go, oh, Bar Run Forge, or hey, Arizona Kid. We take the time to learn who their names are. Hey, Troy, what's going on? Where's Eli? Blah, blah, blah. People go, wow. And it maybe not creators, but people who watch YouTube, and they go, wow. They just said my name. Oh my gosh. Because that's what a community, that's what a family does. If you're in a family, you don't call people, hey, you call the child by his name, and guess what? You'll get an answer. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I learned a long time ago. Call the child by his name, and guess what? They'll answer you. And it's the same thing in YouTube. Be personable and get to know who your audience is. I know a lot of people got 50,000 people, and that's a lot. But when you watch these big channels, and like we were on Hidden Heights tonight, he's got 50-something thousand people, and he's calling everybody by their first name, him and Rachel, because they learn their subscribers' names, and that's
or we can do what Bobblehead just said and just buy him a steak.
That was hilarious. Yeah. Bobble said, buy me a steak.
You'll subscribe to your channel.
You'll have him forever. Buy him a steak. All right, Josh. Community. I mean, what did you learn about community, and has it affected you and your channel?
So I learned something new about community in the last week. Part of it because YouTube finally decided to push our videos, and part of it because Brenda Baker was at this meetup. Talking to Brenda Baker, it made me realize that I've been doing YouTube wrong. I have been trying really hard to make connections with other channels, and that's good. You have to do that. You know, obviously, you know, Tim, I met you at the first meetup. Been great in our journey. We've had some really good friends that have helped us on our journey. But I realized in the last week, the community is not just about all of the channels. The community, when you get to that next level, the bigger level, it's about the subscribers and it's about the viewers. And when you start gearing your videos towards knowing exactly who your community is, being the people that sit and watch these things and make it run, when you tailor your videos to them and what they need and what they want, it makes all the world a difference. For us, we started changing the way that we tell our stories based on what they tell us they want to see or what they enjoy seeing. So that was huge for me. Rachel and I talked about it for hours and hours and hours. We have a responsibility, especially to the people who can't do the things that we're doing. People want to go to these museums that we're visiting. People want to go to these events that we're going to. A lot of them can't go to these events. We have an obligation to them to tell the story, to show them what's going on, and to introduce them to people who are going to carry this journey on, who are new channels.
Guys, I don't know if you saw, I love the answers. Both of you are 100% right on community. And Jason Crocker came in just now, I don't know if you saw that, and said, great conversation, guys. And that is what we want. We want conversation. We want to grow our communities. We want to increase the amount of friends we have on YouTube. And like you said, the viewers have names. And if you can learn some of their names, I mean, yes, I learned Mike from Sunny Slope. I learned his name was Mike. Yeah, and you know, Josh is Porter Valley Ranch, and David is Hood's Custom Shop. You can do that. You see him on the videos, right? But when you meet people, viewers, and you learn their names, they become friends. And I just can't imagine 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, not having the friend base I have now. And so that community question really hits home with me. And it's very, very, and Bar Forward says it here, I'm amazed at the crossover between the different communities. We've got foraging, we got gardening, we got hunting, fishing, outdoors, we have hiking, we have, of course, homesteading, we've got building. There's just so many different genres that we've incorporated into a community. And I think it is kind of rare in some of the YouTube world to have what we have in this community. So thank you guys. I got another question for you. And then what we're going to do, if you have a few moments, is finally take some questions. Okay. I know the viewers have been wanting to do some questions. We got 200 people in here, 200 people in here. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you that you guys have done this. So what would you say to someone, a viewer, a YouTube creator, someone, what would you say to someone that's thinking about going to the next meetup and just kind of has some reservations? Who am I? Why should I take that travel? Why should I risk this disease? What would you say to them? I'll start with you, Josh. What would you say to someone that's got kind of thinking about that for this next meetup?
Do it. That's it. That's it. That's it. There is no amount of travel, expense, risk that should get in your way. You know, it both meetups. I mean, I know there are people, you know, Sunny Slope coming from way out where, and, you know, downtown 66, Ricky Ventures came from way up north Minnesota. There are people who make that drive, and then there are people who don't maybe go an hour, and it's worth it. It's worth it. The information you'll get, the friendships you will get, the community that you will build in person is just unrivaled. And you can build a good community by coming to Ridge Life a couple times a week and having, you know, chatting with people in the chat and listening to people and this and that. But when you have a face-to-face conversation and you're able to truly meet these people and see the person behind the character, you guys talked about characters earlier. I remember Rusty, you know, said something to Jason. He said, you know, I didn't like you. Yes. And then I came here and now I get it. I understand your character and I understand the heart behind your character. And that's huge. And sometimes you just can't do that through a screen.
Josh, there's a comment on the screen there. Can you see that?
Yes.
And that was very, very cool, Tracy. And that kind of epitomizes what, you know, Josh, the way I know Josh. Tiny Tim Posey with the $5 super chat, because. Thank you, Tiny Tim. I appreciate that.
Great guy.
Same thing to you, Mike and Terry. What would you say to someone that's just contemplating, who am I? Why should I go? I'm scared.
I would say that you can have a channel and you can post videos, and that doesn't mean you're part of the community or the family. You have to be an active member of any family to be part of that family, okay? Or you're just the drunk brother that never comes to the, you know, the family reunions or something like that. You have got to invest yourself, invest your career in YouTube, and you have to be part of something bigger than yourself. And YouTube is bigger than any of us together, okay?
For channels.
For channels.
Right.
For subscribers.
It's just a really good time. And you get to know these people, really get to know them. Like Corey and Cynthia Davis. We've seen them a few times now, and they're awesome people. Yeah. And, you know, they got to see all of us and know that we're real people. You know, we're not just.
But if you're a subscriber and you go to a meetup, be prepared for every channel there to tell you why you need to start your own channel. Yeah. Okay? If you want to get pushed in the right way, I mean hard in the back, come to a meetup, meet these channels, talk to these channels, take notes at these channels, get to know them,
if you have
and
any
then plan your
it.
path of attack to start your YouTube channel. Yeah. And that's the best way to start it.
Brenda Baker brings up a good point here, and this is a note to some of the larger channels, because it is easy to get full of yourself sometimes. And Brenda Baker says some of the bigger channels won't even recognize you on their chat, and it makes you feel like they're only talking to the big channels and friends. So some unsubscribe. Now, Brenda, on the flip side of that, when you've got 1,000 people in your chat, it is hard to follow. And sometimes you only see when people super chat and it pulls up $5 or something. That's sometimes when you got 1,000 people or 1,200 people like Daniel Arms or Dutch or Jason. I've got 260 here, and I'm having a hard time, and I'm getting to listen to these guys and watch the chat. So on the flip side of that, so yes, sir.
In the same respect, those channels like Daniel, you rarely see them ever go live again because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
And so I mean, when was the last time you seen Daniel went live? Maybe the last time because he had something important to say, but he didn't take no questions. And so when you've got, I mean, come on, he's coming up on 750,000 people. You got to understand that as a channel, and they can't read everything, because when we were at the 41.36 and that thing starts rolling,
It's crazy.
I mean,
It's absolutely crazy.
you're going to miss people. And yeah, a lot of people apologize and keep apologizing because they can't read it. But people have to understand you can't keep up with it.
And Jason, you had his comment up there, and I can attest to the fact that Jason always goes back through. I leave comments, silly little things, and he always goes through and at least, hearts it or, likes the comment at the very least. Yep. So yeah, he's very good about that.
Tundra Jason with the 1776 most patriotic viewer on YouTube. He said, I got almost nothing to do with this community, but you guys took me in soaking wet puppy. And for that, I thank each and every one of you. Tundra Jason, you're awesome. Thank you, buddy.
There you go, brother.
All right. So guys, now is the time for questions. I know you had some earlier. So if you have questions for the individual channels or questions about the meetups, I'm going to try to see them as they go flying through with 210 people in here. And if you see some really good questions, moderators, maybe you can repeat them for me and I'll pull them up.
We heart you too, Sunny Slope.
Oh, look at this. Carla paid $1,200 for a YouTube class that says when you get that big, it's like a business. You have to hire or outsource someone to respond. And I can't imagine that, but it's true. Those guys with 1 million, PewDiePie, right? Or some of those giant channels, they don't do half their stuff.
Yeah, it's important to remember that most of these people have full-time jobs. A lot of us have kids at home. We coach soccer teams on the weekends. So sometimes
sorry, Josh.
You have to be patient.
Josh, sorry. Jared just
because I can and I had the platform to do it, Jared.
Outed.
Oh.
Oh no.
Eric, Greenhorn 1 Acre, great live, Tim, MT, and Josh. Love the point of view sharing. Yes, that's exactly why I had these two channels on here. And thanks, Josh, for even bringing it up. This was a great event, and so we're still taking some questions here. And thanks, Eric, for the super chat. So more questions. Let's see here. One came up. Come on. Let's see here.
I know Carla from Living a Rogue Life asked earlier about the merch. Mm-hmm. And I will say there was more merch at the second Pryor one than there was at Sulphur. But I think just because there were so many more channels and vendors there, the one in Sulphur was a lot smaller. So just by way of that, there was more merch at the other.
I think there was only like 6 channels that actually had merch there.
We had more merch at Sulphur because we really didn't have any.
Yeah, we didn't have nothing at Sulphur, and
except for a cup I gave Tim.
At the first meetup, Cold Beer Ranch and I, each of us brought about 100 shirts, and we were just throwing them out. And there were a couple tables. I think David Hood had the coasters and stuff. But yeah, it was just kind of like this, Sulphur thing. We were just throwing stuff out, and of course we learned so much the second one and everything. So again, just very, very thankful for it. But yes, Carla. So is cold beer the king of merch? Yes, I think he is. He truly is. That's an easy question.
Well, I don't know about that.
What about this?
Daniel has a pretty good merch line.
Oh, Creek Life. Now, do you notice how
not only does he have Arms Family, but he has Creek Life now.
I sent Daniel a RidgeLife t-shirt a while back, and it was like the next week a Creek Life shirt showed up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that was about the same time that we gave him stuff. Too,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, let's see here. Fallen Arkansas veteran says, I know I'm not a homesteader or off-grid channel. I am totally different, but I love to watch them. What I do, I had to grow more. I'm active in a lot of channels. That's exactly right. There is no genre-specific part to these communities. Weibel Family Ventures, how do y'all get merch? We don't know a lot about stuff. Merch. I use Bonfire Custom Ink. It's the two I like the best. I started off by ordering things to my house and then sending them out, and that was tough. So when Dutch is doing it and Daniel's doing it and Jason's doing it, shoot dang guys, more power to you. I got no time for that. I use Bonfire now, and I just ship it straight from Bonfire to you. I don't make anything hardly at all, but it's about the merch. It's not really about the money. So for me, for those guys like Shoot Dang, Creek Life, the Dutch, this is their job, Yeah.
So we give hats away. We don't sell merch. We give the hats away. And the reason we're able to do that is because we make them ourselves. I order the patches.
Awesome hats.
I order the hats wholesale, which right now, if you're waiting on a hat from me, Simple Life Reclaimed, we can't get any hats. They are sold out everywhere right now. It's hard to get. But that's how we're able to do it is we have a screen printer here at our building, which I probably shouldn't tell everyone that because now they'll come use it, which is fine. But we make them ourselves because we can do it affordably. And then when we go to these kinds of events, I always have a couple hats with me. We just give them out. It's something we love seeing people wear them. It builds that community. And so that's how we do it. But I mean, if anybody has questions about merchandise, I used to do that for a living. I was a graphic designer. We did imprinting, screen printing, all those things. So send me an email. I can tell you kind of what I know, what I've learned, because there is a way to do it that will break you. And there is a way to do it that it's affordable. You just have to choose the right road for you. Tim does a lot on Bonfire, and that works. But on the flip side, they're more expensive on Bonfire than if you go through a local screen printer. The downside to a local screen printer or making it yourself, it's expensive to ship it out.
Yeah, we've done our stuff on our own too. We didn't go through we didn't go through Teespring or Bonfire or anybody up until recently. But we were doing all of our stuff is just to hand out, to give to our subscribers and to channels and just to pass it out. So I was ordering the t-shirts wholesale and some tumblers and mugs, and we'd take them in. Mike's got access at work, and we still have to pay for it, of course, but he has access to a printing machine.
Well, one of my programs that I run in my community on base is a printing shop. And in that printing shop, she orders all the t-shirts at bulk, usually about $3 when you buy a bunch of them. When we first started, I said, hey, let's come up with a logo. I said, here's $500. This is all we're going to spend on this right now. So she ordered all that stuff that we printed up, coffee cups, tumblers, shirts, yada, yada, yada. I take it into my shop. They only charge me $1.46 per print to put it on the shirts and stuff like that. And then we send it out. That was all part of the $500. And now we're coming down. We have maybe a dozen shirts left and we're done. Terry, because we don't use StreamYard, we use Streamlabs. And on Streamlab, they have a store.
Yeah, you can set up a store on Streamlabs.
And it all goes through there now. So that's where we went to.
I did set up a merch store on there, mostly because we had people asking from like Canada and other places, how can we buy your stuff? Because we send a few things overseas, and
it's horrible.
It was amazingly expensive. Yeah. So now we did set up a merch store so that people can buy shirts or mugs or, but yeah, that's basically where we were with merch.
All right. Connie White, all handmade, had a question for both of y'all. Would you keep the new people you've met as friends or only some?
I haven't met anyone yet that I wouldn't keep as a friend. I have really enjoyed everybody that I've met. Now, eventually, I'm sure there will be a time when, you can't respond to everybody or you can't, be close friends with everybody. But I love everybody that I've met. There isn't anybody.
I have a saying, I've never met a stranger.
Yeah, he's never met a stranger for sure.
And you learn that in the military. Okay. So I learned that, and I give everybody 100% respect. I mean, the only thing you got to do with me is earn my non-respect. And as long as you're willing to be cordial, as long as you're part of this community and you're a positive influence, I'm friends with everybody. So I can't really talk to people that squabble and stuff like that, because we do have that. And if you go back to Mike at Sunny Slope, his top 20 things he learned in the first year of YouTube, one of them is watch squabbles, never get involved in squabbles. Yes. Yeah. They're fun to watch. They're detriment to your channel if you get involved in them.
Josh?
Yeah, so people are people is my answer to that. You get in a room with 100+ people, there are going to be people that you naturally click with. There are going to be people that you don't click with. A year in, we have had some run-ins where there are certain people that we just don't click with. I'm a big personality, and I'm an Enneagram 8, if anybody follows Enneagrams, which means that's who I am. And I like to think I'm a good person. I like to think that everybody in this world is a good person because they are doing something that does not have the return on investment of most businesses. The hours put into making videos and commenting people and doing these things, if you put an hourly rate on it, it is not great. So most people are doing this because they have a burden for others. They want to share with others. They are good people. But no, everybody doesn't click with everybody. That's just human nature. Now, hopefully, everyone can just coexist if you aren't going to be friends. And I think that's important. But you also get to meet people you would have probably never met and would have never made a lifelong friendship with because of these things. So that the reward outweighs the risk for sure.
I'm going to answer that question as well. I have met people I've never would have met before, but when I sat outside the Pryor Hotel and had coffee with Betty Jean Heinsohn and just talked, or talking to Stephen Carlson at the Meetup, or Lynn Oakey, they care so much about the conversations they're having. And I genuinely just am heart touched by these conversations. Now, I'm going to tell you something here that's kind of funny. The first Meetup, I got scared and I was afraid to meet somebody. It was Grumpy Grandpa. He scared me. It was Mark Fallon. I seen him over there. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who Grumpy Grandpa Patriot Show was. I didn't know who Two People on a Couch was at the time. I guess it was the name Grumpy Grandpa Patriot Show because he had I was like, that guy scares me, and I was afraid to meet him. Mark, I don't think I even shook your hand at the first Meetup. You're like the only person I didn't shake. I was scared of you. Now I talk to Mark all the time, and I'm on all his lives is commenting in his videos, their show. I love you, Mark. I'm apologize for not being more social at the first Meetup. I mean, Big O John, Kobe Ranch. I'm over here hugging this big old guy, and I'm scared of Grumpy Grandpa. Thank you, Ricky Ventures, for the $10 super chat. It says great info. Porter Valley Ranch and MT. The Sulphur Meetup was great. All right, a few more questions, guys, and we're going to let these guys go. Let's see here if we have anything else. Any more questions for our wonderful guest tonight? Let's see here. Trying to see if we've missed any questions. Well, guys, I 214 people in here. We're an hour 30 into it. We've given away 2 shirts. We just had a wonderful time. I had really no plans of going an hour and 30 minutes, but we just had so much to talk about. And then we had, again, still have 200 people in here. That's crazy. It just shows how
obviously you haven't been to our lives.
This
is normal.
This is it just shows how important these 2 meetups and this community is to everyone to want to be a part of this. So I want to thank all 216. What's that question?
Troy had a question from Bar Run Forge. He was asking about what emphasis do we place on tech? So like the cameras we use and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I've got nice cameras and then I've got my phone. I think we've done more on my iPhone 12 than I've done on a lot of things. We've got the GoPro 9. I mean, I've got a lot of different tech, but for me, my iPhone's been the biggest one that I end up using, because if I forget to take a camera with me or, forget the GoPro, then I've always got my phone with me and we use it a lot.
It loads directly to the cloud. We come home, we pull it down and you start editing.
So anybody getting started, you don't need a lot of big equipment. It doesn't have to be all fancy, and it's all good.
It's how
see what Jason just said? I was nervous to meet everyone. He was nervous to meet me. I met Jason twice, and then once over a mutual friend's house, and we looked at each other, and he probably comes right below my nipple chest. Okay. So maybe that's the reason he doesn't like talking to me. Danielle talks to me more than he does. But that's okay. He's a crocker.
Oh, my goodness.
Love that
guy. There's a question on logos. Where's a good spot to get a logo?
I use Canva.
Yeah, we designed ours on Canva, the first one and the second one.
I would say throw it out to the community. There's a lot of people that are really good on Photoshop, Canva, things like that. People like to help people. So that's where I would go, is to the community and say, hey, who can make us a logo? And you'll probably get more than you need.
Talk to Josh. He might be able to get you a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I know I was, to the nervous question, I was outside the Pryor Hotel, and Catherine's cabin. Now Catherine was out there, and you can tell she was mortified. If you watch her videos, she's a quiet person, and I love her presenting style, but she was out of her element at the meetup. But she went, and I started having a conversation with her, and she's just the coolest person. I mean, she is cool. And to get her talking, and then I had Bruce from Swarmstead, and when you had Catherine, Bruce, and me, completely 3 different people having these conversations, you start to loosen up, and that is awesome.
Yeah. For me, I've got an interesting perspective on that. I think I went back and watched Jason's video from the meetup from 2 years ago, I think it was. And this was after going to the first meetup, not filming anything, going to the second meetup, not filming anything. Those were both in Pryor. I watched his video, and it was very intentional, and he had a plan. You could tell he had a plan. So on the way to Sulphur, Rachel and I talked through our plan, and our plan was we were going to ask every channel, or most of the channels, 3 questions. So it made it easier to film and to get good content that I thought people were going to resonate with, and they did. There's been a huge response to it. But we walked in with a plan. We walked in with what we were going to do and how, and then it's just a matter of going back and executing it. And it took the awkward edge off because we knew what we were doing, as opposed to, you hear it a lot when you watch these meetup videos, especially. People are like, man, I talked to that guy for an hour, and then it felt weird to pull the camera out and film him. So have a plan, and then it kind of cuts the awkward down. 2 old people on a couch. I loved their, what they did at the Pryor meetup. They had everybody come in and do the dance with them. They had a plan, they executed, and it was awesome.
I was upset we didn't dance on the couch.
Yeah.
Same.
We missed that.
All right, guys, it is time to go. I know I have to get up at 4:20 in the morning, so
Yeah.
I've got an hour-long ride into work, and I did ride my motorcycle the last 2 days, Mike.
There you go.
Super hot, but it was worth it, man. Super hot, but it was worth it. All right, guys. Josh, Porter Valley Ranch, thank you so much for being here. Mike and Terry, thank you for being here. You guys have cleared up a lot of things about the meetups and hopefully have intrigued some people that knew nothing about them. 4:20, really. Tundra, that's just the time my alarm clock set for. I've got 2 alarm clocks. I get up at 4:20. I got to be up by 4:30. You're kind of a mean person. No, that's exactly okay. Got me all messed up there. So we want people to join these meetups. We want people to feel involved. We want them to feel invited to our channels, to our lives, to comment on every video. If you have a question about something Mike and Terry's doing or Josh is doing with his goats, comment on the video. I guarantee you'll get a response. I guarantee. We're not paying people to write our comments. We will comment. I promise. So 200 people still in here. Thank you all. Is there anything you want to say to the viewers before you guys go?
Thank you all for watching. We appreciate you all.
Go Ridge Life.
Josh?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for welcoming us into your community. For some of the we appreciate the advice. We appreciate your help, and hopefully we can pass it on to somebody someday.
Thank you, Josh.
That's a good woman. That is a good woman.
Yep.
Danielle's a good woman.
Yep.
You did good,
Yes.
Jason.
Stand
All right, guys.
by your man.
Thank you all very much. I'll be seeing you all very, very soon. I'm going to
All right.
chit chat with these people just for a few moments. So y'all have a wonderful night.
All
Take
right.
care.
Good night.
God bless.
Take care. Bye-bye. Woo! Thank you all. Man, what a fun time. We had a blast. 195 people in here. We had awesome channels like Sunny Slope Homestead. Of course, we had the Crockers, Jared Crocker. Danielle was in here. But then Tundra Jason with the awesome, funny things. And so many viewers. We appreciate all the viewers for being in tonight. You guys, again, you've heard so many times tonight. That's why we do this, is to entertain and get to know people like you. So I could sit here and talk all night. I've got to go get ready for bed. So thank you all. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow's video coming out on that tree contest. I want you to measure the tree. Someone asked if you can use a tape measure. You can use whatever you want to measure it. Some big trees, you can't get a tape measure around. That's why I had to use the rope. You'll see in the video tomorrow. But if you can get a tape measure around it, like Jared Crocker and the little twig he's going to be doing, the Mosa tree, use tape measure. I mean, you can use a ruler. So love you all. Hope everyone has a fun and awesome evening. Enjoy your weekend. Stay cool. It's so hot out there. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed evening.